Oh, you were supposed to continue the communication.
I don't play by your rules.
Arrived at the Airbnb. Kyler says he's working. I don't know. He ain't working, he's right there. Look at that fool.
What's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
I'm a little potent. You can spit it out if you need to.
No, I need to do it in phases.
Yeah, I have to see my eyes.
She's like, my eyes, I'm crying. It's fine.
Welcome to Eastern.
Shot king.
So this is
Shot king.
So this must be like how they do in Washington. They were not better than us. You watch your games? We were.
Second the money, I just need to say for grad school.
Oh man, what are you doing?
Dallas Blonde.
It stays stale. You can do it at JSU. Or is it the only one I opened?
Super fat.
We're on an Alabama.
Spring cocktails.
Woo! To the playoffs.
To the playoffs. And all you did was go 3 hours away. I know, it's been a movie. Alright, we good? It's called Snacks. Baseball swung that shit out of that one. The grab you might win. Salute.
Cheers it up, boys.
Hey!
Let's go.
Dude. Well, I only got so many hands, bro.
Dude, amazing.
Oh, I'm sure that's where I was going. I ran out of water to kick.
Yes, sir.
If it's like this,
We're all good.
yeah.
We'll grab a cue.
Bison rib.
Bison rib. Look at this sucker. Oh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's man meat right there.
Nice shirt.
Oh, you're Tyler. You don't have to hold your tongue out. I just thought you were an actual reference. No, that's weird.
You look like everybody else in here, except for that.
Hey, chill. Okay. College transfer that I'm high on.
Oh, this is gonna be nice and tight. Junior over Fans Nation.
Boo, Chris!
we do it every year. It's like, oh, this team got beat here, so they didn't deserve X, Y, Z.
We deserve to be ranked higher, and we want some respect.
I would love to antagonize people and egg some people on and see what kind of chaos we can have in the stands.
FCS Fans Nation, we have arrived. The end of so many teams' season, and 24 get the opportunity to march on. Welcome. We are live. And let me just tell you, folks, let me tell you right now, I have a great comment to start this live show. It's from Mitchell here, because the fans are, of course, interactive with us on this show. And he says, I'm only here because paying for TV is overrated. I tell you what, Mitch, here's the thing. You will never have a contract dispute between giant corporate billionaire companies on this live streamer channel, because we lose substantially a lot of money every year doing this as a hobby. So we're here for the people. We appreciate you guys tuning in live. You will be able to see the selection show here, hear from the experts. And by experts, I mean the people who are a little less educated than Zach McKinnell and Sam Herder and some of the best. But you got the next best thing. Kyler Neal, Dustin Helton, the Rev, and Jamie Williams. Ooh, looking pretty sexy there, Jamie, in that outfit and Rev. Jamie, look at this. Is that a suit? Are we rocking suits for the selection show this year?
Hey, I'm redneck hybrid, baby. I got a T-shirt and a suit jacket, so we're ready to go.
Yeah, you
still gonna stump for my guy, even though it's the longest of shots. But I'm gonna put the Southern Utah on because they finished the season hot.
Jamie, you look about as good as the people on ESPN. Zach McKinnell, the GOAT of knowledge, says, we don't support ESPN. FCS Fans Nation is your number one source of FCS football content, information, the latest news across FCS football. He's being a little kind there, but we do appreciate it. 370 of you already here on the live show. Numbers clicking up. Welcome, FCS community. This is the final promo before we start talking. I just want to say this is at least the spot where this is where fans come together. Throw out your comments. Throw out how you feel as the selection show comes out. This is your show. This is where the FCS comes together, about the fans, for the fans. We're happy to have everyone. Mr. Neal, how we feeling on a Sunday morning?
Good, got to church early with the wife. Now I'm ready to sin, baby. So we're ready to go, man.
Good thing we've got a reverend here.
There you go.
Knocked out the good, so now that you can try to hold in the curses for the bad, but I don't think it's going to be bad. I think this selection show is going to go pretty well. Why don't we just get into the interaction with the fans as we're waiting for ESPNU to kick this thing off? It'll be at 12 Eastern, 11 Central, so we're about 7 minutes away from the show starting. That being said, why don't we talk about surprises or no surprises? Really, the mystery here is going to come at probably 3 or 4. Is that going to be a shock, Jamie, or no for the 3 and 4 seeds?
I think that that's not going to be a shock, but well, I could be shocked. And Rev is probably ready with the clip to meme that for the next one. I do have my last call if we want to talk about that at some point of who I think is in there, but just let me know. If you want to go through that.
I love that, Jamie. We got some drinks for first call. And to kick off your last call, Adam Healy, the great host of Fight on Montana podcast on our network, he says, Montana better get the number 3 or Fight on Montana podcast is ready for a rematch for revenge. Jamie, you do have a last call here, so why don't you kind of do a rundown of what you expect to happen here on the selection show?
Yeah, here's what I've got. Good, bad, and different. And I think my top 8 kind of seems to be in line with pretty much everybody else that has been throwing up top 8s. I've got North Dakota State at number 1. That's a huge shock. I know everybody's just surprised to see that. Montana State at number 2, another surprise. Number 3, here's where people are going to discuss. Is it Lehigh? Not for me. I've got Montana. I just think that 11-1 for Montana is more impressive than Lehigh's 12-0. But I do have Lehigh at number 4 instead of Tarleton. I've got Lehigh at 4, Tarleton at 5. Tennessee Tech escaped by the skin of their teeth. I got them at 6. 7, I've got Mercer, and 8, Rhode Island. Those are my top 8 seeds. So then we go down through 9 through 16. Number 9 might be a little high here, but I've got Stephen F. Austin. I think they've put together the type of season. And I know they've have the Sewell Ross game, which might put them down more towards the 12 seed. But I've got them at a 9. I think they're playing good ball. They're coming in on a hot streak themselves. 10 seed, I got Villanova because CAA, they play nobody, but they've done their job. They've gotten that done. 11, I do have the South Dakota Coyotes at 11. They had that dip in the middle of the year early, but they bounced back quite well, and I really like the way South Dakota's playing right now. Abilene Christian at 12, winning the UAC. 13, the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. I've got them at 13. Big win yesterday, big comeback, season on the line, and they made it happen. What a pass off the back foot to a wide open receiver. Great play there. They get them in, get the seed. Number 14, I got UC Davis. Coming off that win over Sacramento State. And if you listened to me last week instead of Kyler, you would know that UC Davis was going to win that. And I'm the only one on the screen, so I can talk some trash at Kyler, but he'll have a chance to respond. 15, I got Youngstown State and my potential Walter Payton winner, Bo Brungard. And at number 16, I'm probably going to be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong with this, but I've got Harvard. I think they still get in. I've got them in there. So who are the last 8 teams? SFA, I've got them hosting Illinois State, which would be a really good matchup. Villanova, I have hosting the Ivy champion Yale. So that's going to be a solid matchup. Yale's a sneaky good team. They really hammered Harvard yesterday. South Dakota, they're going to get Drake. Abilene Christian, this is where you see your second Southland team. They've got Lamar. South Dakota State, I'm going to skip that for now. Number 15, I'm going to skip 13 and 14 for now. 15, Youngstown State. I've got them playing Monmouth. I think Monmouth does get in. And then I've got Harvard playing Central Connecticut State. So that leaves 2 spots. The last 2 spots, UC Davis, I have them playing. North Dakota still getting in with 7 wins. I think that the number 1 strength of schedule carries a lot of weight there. So I do have North Dakota there. So who's the last team in? Who goes to South Dakota State? You're talking about teams like SLU. You're talking about New Hampshire. You're talking about Austin Peay, Southern Utah. I've got New Hampshire. 8-win CAA team. I've got New Hampshire. Could make some cases from other teams. I think SLU is going to be hurt by the fact that Lamar lost to McNeese. I think that kind of hurts, but it dropped Lamar down. Still did beat SLU. So those are my 24.
Heck yeah, Gene.
Throw some reaction.
That is the final prediction. There we go.
I have the exact same 24 now. I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at like Southeastern Louisiana over New Hampshire. But also, you said UC Davis by double digits, easy game. If you average out our 2 picks, it's exactly what the rest of the world was going to say. So that's perfect. But yeah, I think the last kind of pick, I think those are the 4 last teams. And I also have the exact same 24 as Jamie. I sent it over even before we started talking. He goes, do we have the same? I think we do. But I would not be shocked if we saw maybe, Southeastern Louisiana slide in there instead of New Hampshire. But I think that win that New Hampshire had, I think that just solidified it. But I wouldn't be shocked. As of your top 8, I think the only thing I might have is Tarleton over Lehigh. But Lehigh was, already the 4. So I would be shocked if they maybe went down. But overall, I kind of like your whole field. I like your seeds, and I wouldn't be shocked.
I messed up too. Drake can't play South Dakota, so they'll have to flip with somebody else.
Well, now you suck. Let's end the pod. Let's end the pod. Go see the experts on ESPN.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I just was thinking, they played South Dakota State. I could put them against South Dakota. They played them back-to-back weeks, so that was dumb.
I bet you're right that Drake
is
in the field.
Those are my 24 teams.
I bet you're right that Drake's in the field. I bet there is 24. I'd be willing to bet that. Rev, Southland, your last little sermon here. You got about 60 to 120 seconds of how many teams are getting in.
I have just about the same, except I have Southeastern in over New Hampshire. And the reason why is I don't think you put in a 2-loss Lamar over a 1 Southland loss SLU. And it just it's one of those really weird things. Like I could see if Southeastern gets left out, why they would get left out, because they effectively did the same thing that they have left them out last year, is that they didn't win the key games they needed to win to solidify their resume. Yeah, they've got 9 wins, but they have 1 win over a team with a winning record. So
all right,
that's it.
For the fans, we see your comments coming in, but this tends to be a little delayed. So if you could do us a little bit of favor, if you want a natural reaction, don't just start typing in who got what. We're going to find out about probably 15 seconds behind you. So
I don't look at the comments on this
shit.
day.
Spoiler alert, NDSU got in. Sorry, Matt.
What?
I doubt it.
yeah, you can spoil the 1 seed and probably the 2 seed, but the others, here we go. Anybody disagree with Montana at 3? Or do we think they're a lock because of Tarleton's kind of last-second performances? Kyler, can you see Tarleton?
I know. I put Montana at 3. I mean, fantastic game. They did what they needed to do the rest of the season. They have that win over UND as well. I put them at the 3, and even last week I said, hey, as long as it's close, they're going to kind of lock themselves in the 3 if they lose. Now, if MSU loses, that's a whole different discussion where maybe they get pushed outside of Tarleton, Lehigh. But Montana losing to Montana State, close game. I mean, it would be hard to justify Tarleton or Lehigh being above Montana, in my opinion.
Rev, Illinois State, how far down did you drop them seeding-wise after we thought they could be a top 8, but then got blown out by SIU?
No, I don't think they're going to be a seed.
You think they drop all the way out of the 16?
I think they drop all the way out of the 16.
Agreed.
Wow. Okay. No shot there. So that we had some rotational valley movement then of those 5, possibly 6 teams that are coming in from that conference. So right now, the ESPN guys who are hosting here, they're learning how the playoffs work. So they're reading that board themselves, just trying to figure out exactly. All right, here we go. Top 4. And probably no shock. Cole Payton leading the team. Whoa, North Dakota State comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and
like
is your number 1 seed.
We'll wait till 3 pops up and then we can start reacting.
By the way,
I liked on Twitter how Matt said, "Hey, even without Cole, NDSU is still undefeated." Yeah. So get rid of those Walter Payton talks.
By the way, having the first shot for NDSU be Cole Payton scoring and Brookings is absolutely diabolical by ESPN, and I love it.
I thought it was UND.
They didn't even know that.
All right, here we go. Coming, and it is
Montana.
That is correct.
Very easy. Again.
4 is going to be another question. Is this Tarleton or Lehigh? I still think it should be Lehigh. We'll see where we wind up.
Strength of schedule is way more beneficial to Tarleton. I think it's going to be
way more beneficial.
And we have
there you go.
Tarleton, nice.
Stronger strength of schedule. So, it was in the 80s for Lehigh. It's in the top 30 for Tarleton. They have an FBS win. I think this is totally justified over Lehigh.
I'm fine with this.
I'm fine with this too.
They finally kind of get the Sam Houston 2016 treatment there, where they were a top team, undefeated, and wound up as a 5 seed because of the schedule. Like I said, I had Lehigh over Tarleton, but I was flipping a coin and would not have been having any issue with it. I'm good with the top 4 as it sits.
Yeah, Lehigh to me is a paper tiger anyway.
Let's do the justification, which is Montana, little stronger strength schedule than Tarleton. Really close game to the number 2 seeds that are only lost. Also, Tarleton had an FCS loss. Montana's opponents are probably a little stronger than that FBS Army, and Tarleton may have that loss to the FCS in a close game, but their strength of schedule over an undefeated Lehigh is vastly superior. Kyler, that all tracking? That makes sense?
Yeah, that's what I had even in my top 5 so far.
All right, here we go. They're rolling through it already.
They want to get this done so then they can talk about FBS.
That's right.
All right.
So far the seeds are good, and then it's probably going to be Tech, Mercer, and Rhodey.
Yeah,
that's where I'm leaning to. So we'll definitely see.
Now Mercer might
look at this dude here on the bottom. He's got his board with him right there between his feet.
All right, we got Mercer here coming in at the 6.
Okay.
Mercer at 6.
Yep. I have no issue with that at all either. I know they've
been playing better.
Presbyterian, but since they made the quarterback swap, that team has been mauling people except for obviously Auburn.
That's a great young quarterback.
And hey, that first quarter was impressive.
Here's our first big miss.
Whoa! Look at that!
Right.
Wow!
Hey, Matt, let's all lay out and let the Rev have his moment. Go for it, Rev.
Wow! I'm actually very surprised by this because I didn't think we had the resume for it, but that means. Oof! Yeah, that means Davis.
Yeah, I am shocked by this Davis pick here. That is
maybe they are penalizing the CA, which means I think Rev might be right on that SLU over New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Well, I was not expecting 8-3 Davis to come in here at number 8. That is surprising.
So Tennessee Tech and Rhodey kind of do get hit for schedule. We got to find what is Rhodey's. Yeah, Rhodey's strength schedule is 79. What is Mercer's is 48. Yeah, strength of schedule matters here, folks. So that kind of gets me a little bit more excited about this.
Here's just the only thing I don't love then. Then why are they doing the top 10 for playoff committee if they're not even following it in the last few weeks?
Because they want something for people to talk about, and now that we can talk about it in like this.
Because now this is kind of what we were all assuming if they weren't already given the committee rankings the last few weeks.
The other thing I wonder about UC Davis is what I said is do they kind of mentally say UC Davis is winning that game against Mercer?
Probably
not, because Mercer's the 1 seed ahead, but
that's true.
It's interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Davis is a top 8 seed. But I said it when I was talking. I think I was talking with Herder, and we were talking about Davis, and the committees love them. And
but I was going to say
1,100 people that are watching, because don't worry about listening to that Polisek guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
But also to counter, because you and I both had Rhode Island above UC Davis. But I think if they were playing head-to-head, we'd probably pick UC Davis.
Agree.
So, the committee has shown that they are willing to go outside the numbers a little bit of what you see for kind of what they think. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I tell you what, that Drake thing to me is very, very shocking. And it does not shock me where Rev's SFA team is at. Think about this with SFA. 8-0 in conference. 10-2, so they have 10 wins, and they're the Southland champs, which is Southland in the past. It may have dipped for a while, but it's one of those revitalized up-and-coming conferences with a solid strength of schedule in the top 50. I just want to give SFA their flowers outside of the Rev. He's a kind-hearted guy who sometimes downplays his own accolades of his team, but they deserve that top 7 seed, and I'm excited to see them get it. They earned it all the way through.
Yeah, I put him at number 10, and Rev was harassing us last week when we put him at 12, and he's like, "No, not a chance."
I can't be
what a drunk!
Can't be a homer.
What a drunk!
Can't be.
No, I put him at 10. It is shocking. I think that they're number 7.
I'm
but
shocked.
Again, they are playing fantastic ball, especially this late in the season. So they're probably also weighing, hey, what's happened at the end of the season, which makes that SDSU. I get that win yesterday, but that makes them go, oh, maybe they're not going to be a 13 and closer to a 16 because of the 4 straight losses before that last final win. Now they have the resume, they have the strength of schedule, but that Indiana State loss looks pretty bad, right? So I wonder if they're also looking at this on maybe justifying the losses a little bit more than typical as well.
Seth has a good comment here. If beating Sac State gets you the 8th seed, SDSU should be the 9th seed then. As crazy as that sounds, you could argue that, SDSU's
not with the Indiana State loss. That's the difference.
Idaho State is way better than Indiana State.
Yep. But those wins are a lot more impressive too than what Davis may have in their schedule. But at this point, let's look forward, guys, because we just reacted to the top 8. Everybody sees it. Davis is a shocker. So who do we expect to see over the next couple picks? Probably a Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech's got to show up at 9 or
Tennessee 10. Tech, Rhode Island, Nova. Those should be the next ones, and then after that, you'll probably see a Valley.
I think South Dakota might be higher than the 11 that I have. They could wind up as a 10.
You think they'll jump Rhode Island and Nova?
Very possibly. Very possibly.
Even with 2 less wins?
I don't know. I'm looking at the top 8 and
right.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Because Tech has to be in there, and then I would be shocked if it's not a Rhode Island or a Nova. I think I can make the argument for either or. But did Nova beat Rhode Island? I mean, did Rhode Island beat Nova? I don't remember off the top of my head. Or did they not play?
They didn't play.
They didn't play.
Villanova. What's Villanova's best win?
Tunksy's got a comment here. He says, "Watch all Missouri Valley go 8 through 4, or go 8 and 4, and go 9 through 12." But here's the thing: now that Davis is there, who knows? He might not be wrong if they viewed that 8 and 4 team.
No, definitely Tech is going to be above.
Villanova's best win is New Hampshire. It's a solid win.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting ready to talk about some more teams. There's our trusty Jack
Rabbit watching here. By the way,
I wouldn't be shocked if we saw 12 through 15, mostly Valley though.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you to all 1,379 and climbing fans that are joining us live. We really, really appreciate the support. We absolutely get copyrighted the crap out of this episode, so we're making 0 pennies, but this one's for the fans. So we appreciate you guys. And all right, what at this point, if you see UC Davis there, what is the scary matchup for seeds 6, 7, and 8? Who do they not want to see come behind them, guys? Who are we thinking?
The Valley.
the Valley in
Yeah,
general.
100%.
Honestly,
So-
I mean, a healthy South Dakota State for any of them. Nobody wants to see Chase Mason.
Correct.
The way they went into the post office yesterday and played and just saved their season, that is a momentum increasing.
What a hell of an overtime play.
That,
I mean, he
off
looked
the
like he was
back
going to get
foot.
sacked off the back. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch. I mean, that thing was phenomenal.
I like right here with this comment, Youngstown is a problem. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know who's got the defense to slow down Bo and that offense. So if you think you're just going to outscore them, good luck. You got to have an a complete balanced attack to stop them. I see Youngstown doing some major damage, and I think all the top 4 seeds are thinking, please don't put Youngstown in my corner.
Yeah.
Because they've played really, really well. Rev, you've got the number 7 seed. That's kind of one where you get a little worried about who's coming behind you. Who are some of the threats that you wouldn't want to see coming down to your home stadium?
Anybody with Missouri Valley Football Conference in their thing. I think
and Drake.
And yeah, and Drake. Gotta watch out for Drake. But no, I have a gut feeling because obviously it'd be the winner of the 10 seed and whoever they host. So I have a feeling it's going to be a CAA or because I think Tennessee Tech would get the 9. So it's going to be Rhody or Villanova.
And Rev is salivating at
you should
that
be begging for
Youngstown.
that.
Listen, I am salivating a little bit. I'm trying not to show it on camera, but now I'm thinking about that. I'm like drooling to beat. I would love to play Villanova and get revenge for the last time we played in the playoffs. Honestly,
out of those 8 seeds, I have a question. Which one do you think is not going to make the quarters? Because looking at some of these, I go, all right, I know we have to wait for the pending matchups, and then we'll have some really good. But there's some of those where I go, all right, they could get bounced in the first game.
I think Lehigh.
has the threat. I mean,
it depends. I mean, if they get one of the 3 or 4 CA teams or SLU, that could be a good game. And I wouldn't be shocked if Lehigh was able to pull it out from one of them.
I think Lehigh beats any of the CAA teams behind them. I really do.
Or if they
Rhode
get a
Island,
Yale,
Villanova,
I like Lehigh potentially over Yale.
I got the let's get some fan comments here, guys. Big 3 gets 3 of the top 8 seeds, says Zachary Lord. Great comment there.
And 0 more after that.
And
they have 0 more
Yeah.
teams.
Yep.
Big
Like
guys
this,
suck this year.
Mark Jones with Mercer win. Davis would be 9-3. Could have been 10-2 if they not close lost to ISU.
Right.
Davis has been buried by over 12 season-ending injuries on defense, including their Defensive Player of the Year in Connors. So impressive of them to get that 8th seed under all the conditions that they faced. If SDSU goes to Davis, we might lose. Also, the bubble yesterday. What do we think about the bubble in terms of what it did, Jamie? Like, we're looking at the game yesterday that impacted a lot. You're going to get 2 Ivy League schools because Yale is going to win this auto bid.
Yeah, I do wonder if Harvard does get in, to be honest. I mean, 9 wins is hard to keep out. But if you put in Harvard, you have to put in SLU, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at their 2 strength of schedules next to each other. But what's
but also
they played
SLU
Merrimack and all this.
But if you take out the 2 FBS teams, SLU probably has a bottom 20 strength of schedule.
For sure.
So are they just
So does
going,
Harvard.
hey, they played 2 FBS games, they got money games that didn't matter because they lost both. But that's the only thing that's propping up that strength of schedule.
For sure. I do have interest in seeing where if Harvard lands in here. It'll be interesting.
Southeast
wonder if
Louisiana
there's-
has a. Sorry to interrupt, Jamie. Southeast Louisiana has a 60th strength of schedule currently in Massey, and it's 83rd for Harvard.
Yeah.
But I think
Take out
Tyler's
those
point
FBS, and
certainly
now it's
holds.
88, 90.
Yeah,
But then
I gotta
that's still,
figure out.
but that still proves the point, though. Even if it's 88 or 90, if they're putting in Harvard with the SOS of 83, you put in SLU with the same SOS.
Looking dapper, Rev says down in the valley. By the way, shout out to the suit, buddy.
Thanks.
I had to
man.
shed the jacket. It was getting super hot in here.
Too hot.
Man,
That was
listen, you got to play through pain, Jamie. You got to play through the pain. All right.
Jamie, it's getting hot in here because it's crowded with 1,752 viewers watching us right now.
I
Shout
gotta
out
give
to all
credit.
those who just don't want to pay for TV. That's okay. We got this.
I got to give credit on the suit jacket idea to my wife. She's like, you should wear your T-shirt and your suit jacket, just because I told her Rev was suiting up.
No, she also just wanted you to cover that Southern Utah. So that's the main thing.
Maybe.
Can we also troll a little bit of the UAC in their posts going Southern Utah by far deserves it. They have the toughest conference top to bottom. Come on, get out of here.
I will say this: there's.
I like propping up your conference, but Come on, be honest.
The politicking this year has been like insane. Like
Yeah.
you know, like it's almost annoyingly insane because
Look at that run.
Because everybody's like, my conference, my school is the best. Like Southern Utah. I love Southern Utah. I love Coach Fitzgerald, but you can't lose to San Diego.
Yep.
Like you just can't. Like
Yep.
that's just one of those things.
I really feel like the committee at this point, with what we've seen, while the stuff does seem obvious, I don't know how much I don't think we're going to see, just like last season, a bunch of, the ranked wins at the time. It seems like the vibe, again, is who seems to be the strongest and who's playing the ball now and how they've performed late versus teams that are still of high quality. And I do love that.
Yeah.
I think the committee has done a good job of
Yep.
focusing on that. I also believe the committee has not had a lot of failures in the last 10 to 15 years. And I know the comments coming, that's from a Bison fan, of course. But in terms of who's earned what, I think they've done a good job.
It's been justified almost every single. There's been like maybe one or two teams where I mean, I probably wouldn't have put them in, but also at the same time, I go, I know why they did. Like I wouldn't have put in NAU a few of those times, but I know why they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of like explanation of Davis, I think, when it comes to number 9 and 10. And we think Tennessee Tech is for sure going to be one of them. Their strength of schedule with no ranked wins is horrendous. So that's why they're going to get dinged. But
I think it's going to be Tech and Rhodey.
I think it's going to be Tech and Rhodey.
Yeah.
It should be. I feel like, I know we all thought that South Dakota State won yesterday. Well, junior South Dakota State lost yesterday. I just want to put that out there since I'm here.
So
Jimmy took a beating. Not really, but he lost.
I just had two thoughts about the SFA seeding being seeded in 7th. One, that means they avoid going to Fargo, which I'm happy about. But two, there's been some mock brackets that had Southeastern as a 16 seed. And I think that's out. I think that's a bit far out. But if SFA is getting a top 8 seed, do you think that's going to push the Southland brand further?
I think it might push them to get 3 teams in over New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sold it should push SLU to 16. They have not played anyone. That's just a reality. They lost to the only decent team they've played. And I mean, we have, Rio Grande Valley, which I think we all love that story, but they played no one. And that's their best win.
Nobody.
So
yeah,
you have to have quality on the strength of schedule, especially to be in the seeding range. I think we're about to be able to hit these 9 through 12s, or we'll see how they lay this stuff out.
Yeah.
First, I thought that was John Cena.
Here we go. Let's figure out in the number 1 and number North Dakota State. We got the 1, 8, 5, and 4 side of the house. Looks like we're going to some reveals
Illinois
here in
State,
terms of who's
not a
playing
seed.
who.
As predicted, I got that right.
Yep.
So they
ruined it. If they won the top 8 seed all the way to not justifiable.
Yep. And just got smoked yesterday too.
Yeah.
Who's the 16? This is where we're going to find out some things. Who's the 16?
2,000 live.
Sam Herder. Sam Herder.
There you go.
Southeastern got in.
And they sit there at the 16 seed. Okay.
So New Hampshire should be out for sure.
Yeah,
unless like Jamie was saying, maybe Harvard just pushed themselves out.
Yeah. Congrats to Southeastern. That tells me.
Yeah.
Does that tell you that Lamar does find its way in? If
Lamar's
Southeastern
in.
is this high,
Lamar's in.
You would have to think
Lamar
so, right?
should be in.
The committee clearly is valuing the 9 wins. Teams are going to lose. And it's like sometimes we overthink the whole, they lost to this one team and that destroys their whole resume. Okay, well, let's zoom out a little bit because this team has played balanced football all year. They've competed very well, and the Southland is not some sort of pushover. So, Rev, you're gonna be a 3-bid conference. It looks like Illinois State really ruined their opportunity yesterday. They got absolutely shellacked by the Salukis. It was like 37-6. Otherwise,
how do we feel about this game?
Looking at a top 8 seed.
I think Illinois State kind of goes down there and probably handles business pretty easy.
I don't know.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I think Southeastern's defense is probably going to match up very well. I think they're going to surprise because Illinois State has a very blah offense, and I think Southeastern Louisiana's defense is a little better than we expect at home. I don't buy Illinois State winning that game, but that could be the difference in winning a $50 Visa gift card by being in the playoff bracket challenge for only 99 cents. Search FCS Fans Nation Patreon below to join the playoff bracket challenge, everybody.
All right.
We're going to find out
the 9 right here. Obviously,
Tennessee Tech.
Connecticut State, which means you're looking at a CAA team. You're looking at going to be Rhode Island.
This could be Rhodey, yeah.
Yep. And I think I like Davis over Rhodey.
For sure.
Yeah.
I will say, I think every Bison fan from the NDSU perspective is like, please no Youngstown. So this if this is
there we go. It is Rhode Island.
It is Rhodey.
Okay. Yeah. Tennessee Tech is going to have the biggest gripe. I at 11-1, like their only losses to Kentucky. They're 11-0 versus FCS. That
I think their strength of schedule
is awful. It's awful. I don't. But still, 11 wins is 11 wins. I get it.
Yeah.
But like you punish them like you did Sam in the day in Lehigh. But for them to not even show up in the top 9,
they have to be number 10.
Yeah, FYI, guys, we're about to get FYI. The next thing you're going to see is the 12 and the 13s down below. So when
these are going to be the fun, interesting ones,
right?
I think they're coming from the same
12,
state.
I think we get a Valley team at 12.
I think South Dakota. I think it's for South Dakota State side.
We're going to see. I think we're going to see the same state show up as the seeds here.
Yeah, I think so too.
You think South Dakota and South Dakota State are about to appear here in the seeding range?
That means UND has to be in on the other side because they're still doing that. You can't have every single team from the same side, right?
That's true. That's true. They could have done a slot shift. Maybe that's true. You can't put all the Valley over there, so that's probably
no one was projecting Southeastern Louisiana to be this. So, I mean, at this point, I think that really throws a wrench in terms of where the Dakotas are actually placed. Oh man! With anticipation, this is the one.
I bet it's for Harvard pop-up.
I'm sorry, Lehigh fans, but this is there's Harvard.
There's Harvard.
So you're telling 2 Ivy League squads officially are going to be in there. 3 Southland squads because we feel like Lamar.
I am excited to see a Harvard versus Lehigh. Some historic teams.
Yep.
A lot of history.
I think this is going to be
Lehigh.
This should be Nova
based off of. Man, I'm pretty damn good.
I'm picking Harvard to go to the quarters in this little bracket.
Villanova. Okay, so the CAA is getting stacked on the East Coast over on North Dakota State's side.
That tells me that North Dakota may not be as shoe-in as we thought.
Too. Yeah, North Dakota may be out. We've had some people speculate that in the comments. I've kind of kept my eye on. Some people do think that North Dakota is out, but I mean, if you've got Southeastern and Harvard in the 9
Markham
wins
thinks
matter.
Lamar is going to be doomed.
No, Markham, they're not going to be left out.
That's because Markham hates the Southland. He wants to move to the Big Sky.
Yeah,
I know he does.
Markham hates the better Cardinals in his conference.
Damn.
Ouch.
Tunsky says YSU, SDSU, and USD seeds in bet. Yeah, that's how we see it going as well. We see all 3 of those Valley teams being in this top 16 seed range. So, so far, guys, anything?
I'm excited to see Harvard versus Lehigh. If it happens, they beat Nova. I am excited for that game. Most exciting game on that left side of the bracket.
Shout out to Asa and Jordan Finkston. We love you, my man. Both of them just joined the FCS Playoff Bracket Challenge for 99 cents.
Jordan is literally in the Caribbean snorkeling right now.
I know, dude.
Diving. He's underwater watching this. So if you guys can't watch it from your home, F off.
So funny story. I ran into Finkston at the Houston airport. He was at the gate next to me. He was on the bottom part of this bracket.
And the reveal for Tarleton State.
Watch.
North Dakota's in. Oops, sorry, guys. I'm ahead. There we go.
North Dakota makes the field.
Wow.
Interesting.
So
How
that
does
means
Tarleton feel about that?
The Valley is going to have 6.
New Hampshire or Lamar is probably out.
Yeah, that's
New Hampshire's out.
New Hampshire's
out.
out.
I think New Hampshire's out. Lamar.
New Hampshire's
They
out.
probably sent the CAA message by having them not be any top 8 seeds.
This has to be Tennessee Tech here. It's got to be. That's a pretty close there. So that's got to be Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, Tennessee Tech.
There we go.
Whew.
I think that's.
If you're Tennessee Tech, are you a little bit nervous? This is the first team you've played all year.
I think so.
Outside of Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think they have a right to be pissed off, but I also think they might not hate that portion of the bracket there either.
By the way, there was a 6 Valley team, Missouri State, that went in. I believe the year was the 2014 bracket, and they got a win over one of the auto bid, like OVC Pioneer League schools. So if North Dakota pulls out at least just one victory, there will be the justification. But they're going to have to go on the road and they just haven't played their best ball, you could say, after that NDSU game. So, how many watching, fellas? Says Chad. Chad goes with 2,000. We have 2,566 live viewers right now, my man. So,
and 2,496 of them are trash.
and
love y'all. I appreciate
they're
you
all
guys. This is
gone.
awesome.
Okay, so everyone here, when they do their bracket challenge, they are going to say, "Oh, I'm going to pick North Dakota. I'm going to pick North Dakota."
Yeah.
Is that what you guys are all
Over an
leaning?
undefeated versus the FCS team, which is pretty wild, right? But the strength of schedule, these two are complete opposite ends. North Dakota has been battle tested. Tennessee Tech hasn't at all. So if Tennessee Tech gets out in a lead, I think they're going to feel a little bit more confident. But they've never really been tested. And to battle back, if it's even a close game, fourth quarter, I would start to lean towards North Dakota going, they've at least been tested. They know how to come back. They know how to, battle through this, where Tennessee Tech, they may feel a little defeated. But if Tennessee Tech wants to win, they got to jump out, maybe jump to a 7-0, 10-0 type of game, and then try and just control the pace.
Yeah, that side of the bracket is going to be certainly interesting.
Matt loves that side of the bracket. Matt is just trying not to smile and laugh and be giggy.
Okay, fine. I'll bring him out for like 12 seconds. Let's go to Nashville. Come on.
Yeah, that left side seems a little bit easier so far than I think what we're going to see on the right.
To me, that left side is Tennessee Tech's schedule.
I will defend that side a little bit in terms of the 1 seed. I stood on that.
You should have an easier road
for Montana State last year. Montana State last year, their bracket was like, okay, but they were the undefeated best team 1 seed.
Yeah,
and that's just how it should go. That's how
the 1 seed should have an easier road. That's just the reality. That's how it should go.
So now that we know this, thinking about the other side, because we're going to see, 10 and 11, is that where the Dakota schools are now going to sit?
Yeah,
in 10 and
11.
Because
you got to think that the South Dakota State, and Youngstown all are 3 of the remaining 4 seeds.
Can we get some Jackson action in Nacogdoches? They could
Plus
be a possibility
Abilene is
now.
the last. I think the remaining seeds, I think, are those 3 teams in Abilene.
I got to reply to this comment. Jacob Jenkins says, "I hope that Tech wins 45-0. That shows y'all know."
We hope so too.
We hope
all of us
hope
that.
Oh yeah, we all hope that
for that.
We are with you, Jacob. Especially as a Bison fan, if UND loses 45-0 in round 1, like, come on, Jacob. I will happily know nothing about football to have that occur. So,
and the Fighting Hawks were a 500 Big Sky team the whole time. So yeah, no one likes them.
Yeah,
remember, it was the guy. I have been on Tennessee Tech all season. So yeah, I'm disappointed with that seed.
Yeah. In fact, I will say this, and this is true. If Tennessee Tech wins, Matt will wear Tennessee Tech gear on the podcast. 100%. The whole way.
Looking at that left side of the bracket again, is there, because one of the questions is, are we going to see a full Valley Big Sky semifinals? Well, that bottom left makes it a little interesting. Do you think we can get a non-Valley Big Sky team on that bottom left side of the bracket to make its way all the semis?
Tarleton, I mean, maybe.
I think Tarleton. has the best shot out of those.
Yeah.
And to be fair, when people were talking about the way Tarleton played yesterday, Austin P was not a bad school. Like,
we also said that like week 5 that is going to be a fun game that everyone should tune into.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything from the whole season that said, hey, that's still not going to be a good game.
Yeah. And I mean, and the funny thing about that game is that Austin P literally threw that game away.
Yeah.
They had that win.
What a crazy overtime.
That poor kid had nightmares last night. That's all he's dreamed about was that pass.
The other school we haven't talked about is, are we sure Monmouth is in?
That
I think Monmouth's in.
I think Monmouth is still in, but they're not. They're
you were just talking about a 9-win team. I mean, and saying, SLU has to be in. Monmouth
they
has
got an 82
strength of schedule, right?
So
Okay.
They got 82.
They at least have better quality wins. So that's where I go. Sometimes the strength of schedule I don't think is as justified when it's 2 FBS teams that are validating it.
All right, let's see.
They have a bad loss though too.
I think Monmouth. I think the CA gets 3 now. I think New Hampshire's out.
I think New Hampshire's
Monmouth should be in with 9-3 record.
Although if the CAA only got in 2, I think that would be 100% justified based upon.
100%. They don't. Yeah. Let's keep stacking up 25 teams in the Invisible Conference so no one has played.
Here we go.
Here's the Montana side.
It's going to be against a Valley team.
And New Hampshire is in.
Wow.
Wow.
So maybe there is. Ooh.
I kind of feel like that means Monmouth is out, and that game is the flip a coin.
It has to be.
Ooh.
I think losing to Albany and not knowing
That's
the status
shocking to
of
me.
Derek Robertson might keep them out.
Yeah, that's shocking to me. So who's New Hampshire going to play then? I mean, for a 16 seed,
South Dakota State.
14. There we go.
Oh boy.
Oh
That
boy.
second round matchup is a beast if Chase Mason is there.
I hope he is. It's just, I don't know. There's been times where I haven't been as sold with that South Dakota State defense. There's times where they look
I
weak,
agree.
times where they don't. In Montana, at Montana with that, offensive firepower. I mean, that's going to be a fun game, but
I would pick.
That's a game we're all hoping to see in
game.
the second round. We finally get to see, a phenomenal top two, of the last, 4 programs of the last 8-10 years.
Yeah.
That's a fun.
South Dakota
fun game
State
to
will
watch.
hammer New Hampshire, though. They don't even need Chase Mason to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, game's not even gonna be close.
Yeah, then Montana.
So who do we think is
Montana,
going to go
South Dakota
to?
State is a banger.
That one's a banger in the second round.
This
You don't
is-
get to see that often.
I bet this is Lamar
Big
ACU.
sweet. You guys are just watching this.
6 goes to the 11 seed. You think Abilene's up to an 11? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, if Tarleton's a 4 and y'all are the 7, Abilene could very well be the 11.
Yeah. Or they might slot him to go to Nacogdoches for a rematch, but I'd be surprised by that. But
They
let's
could.
see.
It's close
Yeah.
because it only the first round matters on have you played each other throughout the season.
Yeah.
Second round doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I mean Abilene is a 12 strength of schedule and a what are they 8-4?
Yeah,
they've got some good wins and some rough losses, but
Right.
I think it all evens out to where that I think Rev is. I think this if you see Lamar pop up here, then you know that they're in, and obviously, and then you know that's going to be Abilene.
Yep.
correct. Would you rather have them
Okay,
go to
here's
Mercer
Drake.
or SFA? Okay.
Drake.
So this is going to be probably South Dakota, right?
Dakota.
Oh no, they can't play, so it's going to
They
be
can't play.
Youngstown.
It's gonna be Youngstown.
All right, Youngstown versus that's good. Mercer versus Youngstown is going to be
Right?
a fun game.
I mean, I guess it could be Abilene.
Now we're all just silent, waiting and
I
watching.
know. My phone is
Oh.
still blown up.
Okay,
South Dakota.
So
Okay.
we were talking in our group that you couldn't repeat a matchup.
That's how it's
and
always
Amizo
been.
had one, but yeah, I mean Brian
Taco
pointed that out, and we didn't.
he
think
should have
was
taken
right,
that bet.
so that's
He
right.
should have
Yeah.
he should have taken that bet.
All
Well-
right,
well,
things
hey, I
are
got that
rolling
matchup
there. South
exactly right,
Dakota
so.
behind Mercer. So yeah, they made the South Dakota corner, I guess, up there to go take on. I mean, South Dakota will destroy Drake, of course. Hey, shout out to all the fans, 3,000 live viewers, and if you guys want to be part of the playoff bracket challenge, search FCS Fans Nation Patreon. It's on the bottom of the screen. It's 99 cents. You can win a $50 Visa gift card. We'd like to have as many competitors as possible this year. So
Now, what happens to Kevin Marshall if South Dakota beats Mercer?
Oh,
They're not gonna.
his head explodes.
That's this. I just threw this comment up there. Somebody's already saying South Dakota State, South Dakota in the quarters.
Oh, I don't think so.
underestimate that Mercer team.
Mercer's good, especially when
All
they
right,
made the change.
All right, we're gonna we got Rev's bracket coming up here, so we'll let him pop up and then we can lay out and let him react first.
yeah, we need Rev. You get first reaction to.
He's
what's
already
about
watching the
Mercer.
TV. He
No,
already
I'm
knows
not.
who's playing.
No, my TV's in. I'm in my office. I don't have a TV in here.
So Rev, this could be Youngstown State territory.
Lamar.
So this will be Abilene Christian on the bottom.
Yep,
There you go.
it's got to
A
be
little redemption tour.
Yeah,
I've been predicting this matchup.
yeah,
for
everybody's
3
called
weeks.
this matchup. Yeah, like
Man, the two Montanas are probably a little bit annoyed by their matchups that they're going to get in the first game.
I want to say this though. The Montanas in the comments are being heavily, and what Jordan said, heavily undervalued. They're just like, oh no, now comes South Dakota State. Yeah, like they're gonna walk into Wagriz and just like look like world beaters
All right, so
based off their performance. I don't know. I don't see
all right,
that.
Rev, you got chance. You're gonna play somebody that you've already played.
I know, and I hate this. I actually hate this so much, not because of the teams there, but like let's get some different teams in the playoffs. Let's get some matchups that you normally wouldn't see. SFA and Abilene Christian. I'm actually really interested to see how that game would play out now as the season had gone on versus when it happened in September. But we already beat Lamar.
So-
Now we So I'm just like, this is late. I mean, sorry, I get why they do it, but it's also a little bit lazy.
So we know this is Yale against somebody, which is probably
Yale
Youngstown.
against Youngstown State.
It's got to be Yale
Youngstown State. Yep.
Like, would they really? They wouldn't pop Youngstown. They wouldn't put UND in.
And honestly, probably the team outside of North Dakota State that probably can handle Bo the best is going to be Montana State. They match up a little bit better against Youngstown than most of these teams on the bracket.
Yeah, if you're Montana
Christian players are like, oh yeah, to go potentially play SFA again. SFA might not have a bad half a second time around.
Yeah, right. I don't see the same mistakes happening that happened earlier this
Hard
year.
to beat a good team twice.
It's going to be really exciting to see Youngstown State go take on Montana State. That is going to be, we're going to really see where that Bobcat defense stands because that offense is elite.
Youngstown State has struggled with some of the Northeast teams. Maybe
that had to be Yale.
Yeah.
So Monmouth is out.
Monmouth's out. Yeah, it's Youngstown.
It's got to be. Yep. So Monmouth coming in losing 2 of their last 3.
Yep, there it is. YSU.
Got to be. Yeah. I don't have a big issue with this bracket at all.
No,
the teams they put in. I'm okay with Monmouth being the one that misses. So what did I think from what I gave earlier? I got 23 out of 24. I had Monmouth in instead of.
No, we also. Oh yeah, that's all we missed.
That's all we missed. We didn't have the seeds right, but we had the teams right. 23 out of 24.
Yep,
we'll take it.
Well, all right, gentlemen. So obviously, one side of the bracket, opposite of North Dakota State's, is what people would call stacked. South Dakota State, South Dakota, Youngstown State, both the Montana schools.
A strong Mercer after a QB change.
Yeah.
SFA playing extremely well. Yeah, that side is quite a bit more stacked than the other.
Good luck to the individuals who are going to try to pick that side of the bracket. Probably easy to lean into Montana State, Montana because of the home field advantage, but there's going to be some dang good teams that are going to walk in there. Especially you think about like the cold or the environment. Heck, they even match up well in those situations in terms of what they're used to with those South Dakota schools and others. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, look at that bids. Do we think that's crazy? You got 6 from the Valley, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, or is that kind of what we expected?
It's
yeah.
Right.
I said I thought it was going to be 4 CAA, but I don't think 4 CAA is deserving. I just thought that's how it was going to go because of these split schedules. But the rest were 100% for me. So I just had 4 CA, 2 Southland, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't, outside of just saying, I think the committee did a nice job. I don't really have a whole lot. I mean, my one gripe is I think Tennessee Tech is way too low as far as a seed goes. I think maybe later on everybody might actually want to come back and listen to this interview that's on the screen now, but wait till we're off the screen and go back in your ESPN Plus and pick up this interview because you'll hear some of the justification. I think we already thought North Dakota State was going to sail through their side of the bracket. So I don't think it's a big deal to be like gobsmacked that they go in there and are going to beat everybody. It's still spread out pretty well. I don't have an issue at all with the bracket. It's fine. That other side looks tough, but there's 24 teams and some of them are good. It's been a pretty solid season. You've got the one team at the top, couple teams at the top, but anywhere else, people are good. And I keep seeing people saying Presbyterian should be in there. No, they shouldn't. No, they should not. They shouldn't have even been in there with 1 loss, much less 2. Sorry.
No.
Can I give a quick shout out real quick for this? I want to give a shout out to Sacramento State for managing to be so successful against the JV division this year and missing the playoffs. Kudos to you guys. Enjoy being independent next year and probably not making the playoffs because nobody wants to freaking play you.
Well, and you know what? They are paying people very handsomely to play them next year. I can tell you that firsthand.
Well, best of luck to them. Best of luck to them in those regards. The full bracket is out, gentlemen. Let's dissect it corner by corner.
That's last year's bracket, brother.
Oh, that's last year's bracket. All right. Well,
let's dissect.
Let's dissect.
SDSU, the 3 seed.
We did.
Idaho. Hey, even though Idaho went
good.
2-6 in conference or whatever they did, they are the 6th seed, baby.
Dang it. So we knocked on ESPN this whole time because they show wrong teams and wrong clips. And right at the end, we butchered in front of 3,000.
Don't say we.
Don't say we. That's a you thing. Matt's so busy just
Who's
coasting,
running
knowing
this
he's
back here?
he's
Who's
the number
running
one
this show?
seed.
Who's running this show? Ridiculous. Okay. I got the goat up here, Mr. Sam Herder's Twitter account, and I guarantee you this one actually is right. So dissecting a little bit, let's start with that number 1 corner, North Dakota State at the 1, UC Davis the 8. Jamie, let's get your thoughts on this one here with Illinois State facing Southeastern Louisiana and CCSU against Rhode Island.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Illinois State does go down there and win that game. Southeastern, again, I think they're a good team, but I haven't seen them do hardly anything. So this is their chance to go do something. Now they can justify the fact they got the 16 seed. And if they lose, you can't then say, oh, see, they didn't deserve it, because revisionist history is easy. You can always look back and say somebody did or didn't deserve something and say, oh, Monmouth would have done better than team X, Y, or Z. But we've had 12 weeks, 13 weeks to figure out who needs to be in here, and these are the 24. So
can I ask a separate question? Looking at these matchups, so bring that back, right? The Valley's getting 6. Looking at the second round matchups, how many Valley teams do we think make it to the quarters? Because I'm looking at this, and I wouldn't be shocked if 2 or less make it to the quarters just by the matchups. Maybe 3, maybe half. But
I would see Illinois State obviously going down if they got past the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I think North Dakota does not beat Tarleton, and I'm curious about Tennessee Tech. But so I think those two are goners. I don't see South Dakota State beating the Grizz and Juarez. Do we really? Youngstown's going to give them a heck of a fight. Do you really see Vegan's team going down? I actually think the Valley come round 2 could have a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And here's
do you think South Dakota versus Mercer? Because that one's going to be fun to watch.
We saw
South
South
like
Dakota
Mercer
struggle
there a lot.
I like Mercer really good there. I was hard on South Dakota early in the season, and they picked up a little steam. But does that make their lines bigger? Does that make the defense play better? Like, I'm still not sold on South Dakota. I think the Valley's going to have a rough round 2 based off these matchups.
They're not easy matchups for the Valley. So would you be shocked if there's only one Valley team in the quarters? And what would that mean for the strength of the Valley, right? Because obviously, I think we can all admit it. They were by far the strongest on paper. They had a really good out-of-conference, record outside of South Dakota. So now we look at it, and it's the end of the season. Now we're all kind of going, maybe there's going to be 1 to 2 teams in the quarters. How crazy is that from the best conference, hands down, this year?
I think it's the round 1 effect. I remember when the CAA got like those 5 teams and like 4 of them or 3 of them dropped. The FCS Twitter, Facebook world was crazy. I think if the Valley were to get, of these 6 teams, let's say 5 squads or 4 into the round 2, and then 3 more were to drop hypothetically, and you get 1 to the quarter, but then North Dakota State keeps going and wins it all, I don't know if there's a lot of damage there in terms of their reputation.
I think the Valley's going to have a very strong round 1. I think the Valley's going to have a very strong round 1.
Yeah.
I think my thought on this,
real quick, guys, the last 4 out. Anybody interested?
New Hampshire,
Who do we have for
Austin
that?
P, Monmouth, Presbyterian in Southern Utah.
Okay.
Those are the last 4 out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I was going to say, here's the thing. I think obviously Missouri Valley is the strongest conference this year. There's no question of that. I think the way it got matched up it brings some parity into the bracket for once. And that's just the way it laid out. So I even think if North Dakota State's the only one who makes it through, and let's say somehow they don't win in Nashville, I don't think the Valley is going to get that much damage. It's not an annual thing like you've seen with the CAA or like you used to see with the Big Sky when the Big Sky was known as the Big Fluffy because they would just a nice soft cloud in the playoffs. So I don't really think this is bad for the Valley, although that second round is going to look really brutal, or those games are going to be brutal for them.
Well, let's talk about like outside of the obvious.
There's only NDSU ever calling the Big Sky the Big Fluffy, though. They just had a lot of fans because Big Sky would murder everyone else.
This is
or
true.
At least be competitive. So it was allowed half of our page when we had 10,000, 8,000.
This is before this page. This is before this page. This has been around. That term has been around for a while.
So if you discount North Dakota State in this conversation, in terms of the rest of the top 8 seeds, who is looking at it going, heck yes? I get the fact that you've played them before, but if I'm Stephen F. Austin, I'm really happy in comparison to what everybody else got of who's coming. If I'm Davis, I'm really happy that I have Rhode Island and Central Connecticut there. Lehigh should be pumped in terms of who's coming behind them. So I think, honestly,
I kind of think Carlton's happy too.
Tarleton's got to be happy also.
I think Montana State are the most upset.
I think all of them are nervous besides NDSU.
That's probably true.
And as a SFA fan, I honestly like the way the whole way. And I think and this is a pure fan talking versus podcast. I think we can compete even going up on the road, right? Once we get to that point.
I think that'll be an absolute blowout against Montana State. I love you, Rev.
No,
I don't think that's competitive.
I think SFA's defense will play well against Montana State, and I will put any money on that. I don't think it's a blowout. I don't think
38
had we gone to Fargo, I would probably be like, God, we're going to get our asses blown out in Fargo.
38-10. Montana State's defense will light you up.
I'll give tacos or some beer.
I'll give you a beer. I'll give you beer on that line if you want. We can talk closer to time, Kyler.
38-10.
Nah.
Hey, I like this comment. It's from Nordic Wilderness here. I'm proud that New Hampshire made it when I feel it was a rebuild year. They're the only team in the CAA to play Monmouth, Nova, Rhode Island, and William & Mary. Maybe that's CAA fair. Is down this year, but overall happy. Like, that's a really fair point.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Hey, you guys always say, and it's true, the CAA has this crazy wonky scheduling. Well, they actually put up against some of the best ones there. So,
right.
And good for a great program that has always seemed to be a playoff staple back up on the horse.
Sure. They've had a few down years, but it's nice to see a familiar face back in the field. I mean, it was like you couldn't avoid seeing New Hampshire. They were, 16 in a row quarterfinals or some ridiculous number. So it is cool seeing some of those old powerhouses when we think the CAA has just made some awful moves to maybe get back to what they used to be.
1000%. Lehigh, Seth says, Lehigh and Tarleton have to be the happiest. Every bracket had them getting SDSU and or USD in their quadrant. Yeah, what do you think about that? They got to be pumped, right?
I don't think so.
Why not? They got them versus each other. They've got to feel confident. North Dakota is the only true threat, I would say. I don't see Tennessee Tech being competitive against Tarleton.
I think Lehigh has two very competitive matches that could be coming up to them.
Okay.
I could see Nova and Harvard both beating Lehigh, and I could see Lehigh beating both. I don't think Lehigh would be pumped for any matchup that they're going to receive in the second round.
So we saw the same thing with them last year against Richmond. Richmond was just going to beat the brakes off of them, and Lehigh hammered them, and then they played competitive against Idaho. And I think this year's Lehigh team is better. I still think they lose that game, but I don't think they're going to be that scared. I think they're a better team than people are giving them credit for. But we'll see if they get Harvard or Villanova and how those matchups match for them.
Any chance that none of the teams on North Dakota State's side, the 8, the 4, the 5, what are the odds that none of them end up in the Elite 8? Or do you think one of them's like, no, for sure, this one's going to be fine?
I like Davis against either of those teams. I like them a lot against Rhode Island for sure. I like Tarleton either way.
Okay. And on the other side of the bracket, any chance one of those Montanas hits a doomsday scenario in round 2 versus what will most likely be SDSU or Youngstown State? What do you think?
You could, because you at least have the most electric player in FCS ball right now going to Bobcat Stadium if they end up getting past Yale. But I think styles make for matchups. And if there's one team on that side of the bracket that can contain Bo, it's going to be Montana State.
Brumgard better than Pinnock or Ayat? Yeah, he is. He's really, really good. And the way they're operating him with those weapons, if Youngstown State, listen, they've literally won like old school Eastern Washington. They will just, they could give up 24, 30 points, but you got to stop them from getting 40 because they are going.
The only thing is, I think Vegan is a smart enough coach to put a spy the whole game, and they have the athletes to spy him pretty damn well.
That'll be the key thing because, his legs really make up for a lot of problems.
Because even Youngstown's different than Montana. Montana has more playmakers on the offensive side of the ball to help out Ayat. Youngstown, it is just Big Bo.
man, it's going to be a lot of fun to see how these matchups play out. It almost be disappointing if just the top teams are there sitting in the semifinals based off some of these matchups. Jamie, Mercer with their new quarterback. Let's do a little dive in on them in our final minutes here on the show.
Yeah, I would have loved to see this Mercer offense with last year's Mercer defense. That would be murderous. But yeah, with Braden Atkinson, who I feel like is one of the top 2 guys for the Jerry Rice Award, I think people are going to automatically pick South Dakota in that matchup, and I understand it. But I think I would lean a little bit towards Mercer. I wouldn't be surprised if South Dakota wins, but Mercer is playing some really, really good ball. And to go down there, it's outside of a dome. It still could be a little humid and all that good stuff, but that shouldn't matter. But I like Mercer a lot. I know that Presbyterian loss hurts. It sucks. It's a good win for Presbyterian, but Mercer is a really, really good team.
Atkinson's playing at a different level. Now, that's also going to, if Mercer can get past South Dakota now, I know playing at Walker, especially in December from a Southern team, is going to be tough. But Mercer has the style to make a Montana sweat if Montana can get past their round, because they have struggled versus elite quarterbacks who, throw the whole field. And if I'm Montana, that's the last type of a team I would want to see. I'd want to see some type of run dominant team. Instead, if Mercer can get past South Dakota and Montana can get past, South Dakota State, you're playing the one style that can make it really difficult for you. And I think it'd end up being a shootout. East Coast going to shock the world. Hopefully, we'll see.
Southern speed, baby. Southern speed.
I really think people are going to overvalue South Dakota for what they actually are. God bless them. They got the win they need to against UND, a game they almost gave away. But I really think them going on the road against Mercer, I'm going to circle Mercer in there, and I feel very confident in that pick. So I feel more confident in Mercer winning that game than I do the Montana's beating Youngstown, South Dakota State. If Chase Mason's there, like, I really think South Dakota's going to struggle there, but we'll see. And I'm
pretty confident in Montana State right now.
I mean, to go in and do what they did in Wagriz is insane. That game was wild yesterday.
If I'm Montana State, again, Brumgard is a weapon for sure, but I think Vegan's going to have a masterful plan for him. If I'm Montana State, I actually do not hate that bottom left, and I don't think they really get touched until the semis. I'm sorry, Rev, I love you, and I'll be rooting for SFA wholeheartedly in that game. I will be a big SFA fan. I'll put on my hat. I will trash anyone from the Big Sky on that one. I just don't see it.
I haven't been a homer all year. Let me be a homer for one.
As you should, this playoffs. This is where homerism is real. Yeah, this is where you gotta be a homer, because this is your team repping for a national.
I've had to do it for the brand.
There you go, baby. I just think Montana State in that side of the bracket, that little quadrant, looks pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be part of like a media thing where we say something and then it goes on like the post game victory for the social media page where we get embarrassed. So Mitch says he's clipping this. So I assume that's South Dakota and Mercer. Get me on there. I've always wanted to be the guy who looks dumb on an official social media page. That's the next step of this whole thing. Joe says Bobcats will boat race YSU and beat them by 21 points. We'll see. Frank kind of gets us to where we're at, which is good show, boys. Listen, there's still 3,316 of you zonked in with us. We really appreciate every single fan who's listening, watching, and we hope you guys enjoyed the live stream and our reaction and comments. Seriously, it's 99 cents to participate to win a $50 Visa gift card and have some fun for the playoff bracket challenge. The only way you can do that is if you go to our prior YouTube videos. You'll see the first link says FCS Gold, 99 cents. Or you can search FCS Fans Nation Patreon on Google and you'll see our page. Drop in those 99 pennies and then you get a chance to just participate, have fun, get your questions on the podcast. It comes with a lot of other things. We'd love to get as many brackets in as possible, and we'll be promoting that all week. The deadline will be first kickoff of the FCS playoffs on Saturday morning to be able to be on it. So,
and what I would say is if all 3,000 of you join Patreon, because Matt is the one who's going to be like keeping track of all the brackets. So I would love him to just suffer. So if all 3,000 of you join, the winner, we haven't talked about this. Matt's going to be like, Kyler, I hate you. The winner's going to get $1,000 if all 3,000 of you join, because that would pay for it, right? And it would make Matt's life a living hell during the holidays and the bracket challenge. So that's what I really want to happen more than even anything else. But you got to have 3,000 people join Patreon today.
Yep.
If there's 200
next 2
brackets, I won't even be able to survive. You know what? Actually, nobody joined the challenge. Don't do it. I don't want that to occur. Rev, we appreciate you jumping on. You special guest with us all the time. We'll get your final thoughts to end the show. Jamie, final thoughts on the bracket as we get close to ending.
No, I mean, real nice job, committee. I would have loved to see, like I said, Tennessee Tech a little bit higher, but I understand. 3 CAA teams. I think we're finally starting to see them age out of being a solid conference. So I think we've kind of got to the point where the committee has it kind of smoothed out. I think they did a really nice job. I would have loved to see the T-Birds in, but they had the type of loss that you can't have. And Monmouth's all the same thing. They lost to Albany. So that's what you see. So let's go. Let's get it going. It's playoff time, baby.
It's playoff time. Rev, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited. 3 Southland teams is awesome. That hasn't happened since 2017, I believe. So, and I mean, that's rare air for us. So don't be surprised if you see a notification pop up later today that says FCS Mega Live. There's been talk about doing one. You may see it tonight at 8:00 Central, where we get even the South Dakota State boys to come on and talk, and maybe some other guests as well to talk through the bracket, especially get like first reactions. But no, this is an awesome bracket. This looks like an awesome championship. I'll be interested to see who North Dakota State matches up against in Nashville. Hopefully it's a certain team that wears purple and white from Nacogdoches, Texas, but you just got to play the games.
Awesome. Hey, one final shout out. Thanks for saying that, Chad. You guys should all donate your charity money to Alex's lemonade stand this year. It fights against childhood cancer. Kevin Marshall and FCS Nation.
And I think they have a matching donation for today only. So make sure you go throw something in there today. I know Kevin is watching. If he throws that up in the chat real quick, we can post that or just keep an eye on the chat. Chad's just threw the link up there. Great cause. We've had a long time to be able to that we've been able to interact with Kevin Stone and support that, including whipping some athletes with our old tails a few years ago in some real games. So including a certain JMU quarterback. So
we've seen look at that stud. We've seen the FCS community rally together for some great causes for charity in the past. Alex Lemonade Stand, Kevin and Stone, they do a great job. So please support that cause, especially in the season of giving and everything they do. FCS Fans Nation, you've got till Saturday to participate in the Playoff Bracket Challenge. And you've got about, let's do the quick math, 44 days until we're going to be down in Nashville, hanging out, drinking beers. Bachelorette and bachelor parties aren't going to know why there's football fans there at that time, but we're going to give them a reason to know. So we're excited to see you guys down there. If your team's in the playoffs, we wish them best of health and competitiveness as we go through the rest of the season. With that, all 3,300 of you, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys on the other end of the playoff bracket after round 1. Best of luck to the teams. Oh.